There's a reason West Virginia is one of the most haunted states in America. These terrifying places hold dark secrets, restless spirits, and stories you'll never forget. You might want to keep the lights on for this one. From abandoned asylums to ghost-filled battlefields, we're counting down the 10 most haunted places in West Virginia. And number 1 might haunt your dreams. Number 1. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Nestled in the small town of Weston, this massive Gothic structure looms like a forgotten relic of madness. Once home to thousands of mentally ill patients, the asylum operated from the mid-1800s until 1994, and its walls have witnessed unspeakable horrors. Overcrowding, inhumane treatments, lobotomies, and tragic deaths have left a heavy, chilling presence behind. Visitors today report whispers in the empty hallways, shadowy figures lurking behind broken doors, and sudden drops in temperature without explanation. Some say the tortured souls of patients still wander the grounds, trapped in an endless cycle of torment. If you dare to step inside, don't be surprised if something follows you back out. Number 2. Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. Hidden in the woods of Mercer County, this abandoned park looks like something straight out of a nightmare. Built in the 1920s on cursed land, once the site of a bloody conflict between settlers and Native Americans, it seemed doomed from the very beginning. During its operation, 6 children tragically died here, including a little girl on a swing who was struck by a delivery truck. After the park shut down, locals swore they saw her ghost still playing there, dressed in pink, her swing moving on its own. Paranormal investigators report cold spots, disembodied laughter, and eerie figures roaming the decaying rides. Beneath the soil lie the remains of a Native American burial ground, disturbed during construction. Some believe the land itself is angry. Enter if you wish, but beware. Lake Shawnee remembers every soul it claimed. Number 3. Moundsville Penitentiary. Standing tall and cold in Marshall County, this Gothic fortress once housed some of the most violent criminals in West Virginia. From 1876 to 1995, it was a place of darkness, brutality, and death. Executions were public, riots were frequent, and over 90 inmates met their end in the electric chair or at the hands of other prisoners. The walls soaked up decades of pain, rage, and blood. Today, it's said the dead never left. Visitors hear chains dragging, cell doors slamming shut on their own, and whispers echoing through the pitch-black hallways. Shadows slip just out of sight, and some claim to feel hands grab them when no one's there. The Sugar Shack, once a recreational room, is infamous for violent hauntings. Step inside Moundsville, and you'll feel it too. The heavy air, the eyes watching you, the presence that doesn't want you to leave. Number 4. The Low Hotel, standing proudly since 1904 in the heart of Point Pleasant. At first glance, it looks like a charming historic inn, but once you step inside, the atmosphere shifts. Cold drafts sneak through locked doors. Footsteps echo when no one's around, and then there are the spirits. Guests report seeing a ghostly Confederate soldier pacing the halls, a weeping woman on the 3rd floor, and most chilling of all, a phantom child riding an invisible tricycle down the hallway at night. Some say these souls are tied to the town's dark past, including the collapse of the Silver Bridge and the legend of the Mothman. Even the hotel owners have admitted, something is here, and it doesn't want to be forgotten. If you spend the night at the Low Hotel, be prepared. You may not be sleeping alone. Number 5. Harper's Ferry. This quiet, picturesque town at the confluence of the Potomac and Shenandoah rivers hides a blood-soaked history beneath its cobblestone streets. Once the site of fierce Civil War battles, violent slave uprisings, and devastating floods, Harper's Ferry is soaked in sorrow. Locals and visitors alike report eerie encounters, phantom soldiers marching at dusk, the cries of a long-dead abolitionist echoing through the armory ruins, and strange lights flickering in the old buildings after midnight. The most famous specter? A woman in white, seen weeping near the church ruins, searching endlessly for her lost children. The past clings to Harper's Ferry like fog, thick and unrelenting. Time stands still here, and the dead walk with the living. If you visit, listen closely. You just might hear the footsteps of history refusing to stay buried. Number 6. The Old Hospital on College Hill, perched above the quiet town of Williamson, West Virginia. Built in 1928, this towering structure once buzzed with life, treating coal miners and townsfolk alike. But behind its worn brick walls, countless souls slipped into death, victims of accidents, disease, and even unexplained disappearances. Now abandoned, the hospital exudes an unnatural stillness. Shadows slither across empty operating rooms. Cries echo from the long-forgotten maternity ward, and cold spots chill you to the bone, even in summer. Paranormal investigators have captured chilling EVPs. Doors slam without warning, and some visitors report being pushed by invisible hands. Nurses in old uniforms are seen roaming the halls. Even though the hospital's been closed for decades, they say not all patients were ready to leave, and some never did. Step inside the old hospital on College Hill, if you're brave enough to meet who's still waiting. Number 7. Sweet Springs Resort Park. Tucked away in Monroe County, this grand, decaying building was once a luxurious retreat for presidents and the elite in the 1800s. But its history is far darker than its elegant columns suggest. Over the years, it became a sanatorium, and later, a nursing home, where countless patients spent their final, lonely days. Now abandoned, the halls echo with whispers from the past. Apparitions have been seen drifting through the ballroom, shadow figures lurking near the crumbling staircases, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched, followed, never truly alone. Paranormal teams report disembodied voices, unexplained bangs, and even sightings of a little girl in white who vanishes when approached. The natural spring waters were once believed to heal, but now they seem to anchor the dead. At Sweet Springs, time is frozen, and the spirits trapped inside are desperate to be heard. Number 8. The North Bend Rail Trail Tunnels. Stretching over 70 miles through the rugged hills of West Virginia, this rail trail hides secrets in its tunnels, secrets that won't stay buried. The tunnels, built in the late 1800s, were once a passage for trains, but now they are a dark, claustrophobic reminder of the past. Locals speak of ghostly figures that appear in the pitch-black darkness, travelers who are lost forever, and strange, inexplicable sounds. Footsteps echoing, whispers in the wind. Some claim to see shadowy figures at the tunnel entrances, staring as if waiting for something or someone. The most chilling story is of a worker who died in a tunnel collapse, his final scream still heard by hikers who brave the trail at night. As you walk through, the air grows thick, and you'll feel eyes on you, always just out of sight. The North Bend Rail Trail. Tunnels may be a path through the mountains, but it's also a pathway into the past, a past that doesn't want to let go. Number 9. Droop Mountain Battlefield State Park. Deep in the Allegheny Mountains, this site of the Civil War's Battle of Droop Mountain still carries the weight of the bloodshed. On November 6, 1863, Confederate and Union forces clashed here in a violent, desperate struggle, leaving behind the spirits of fallen soldiers who have never truly left. Visitors report the chilling sound of cannons firing in the distance, the smell of gunpowder thick in the air, and the haunting cries of soldiers lost in their final moments. Shadowy figures are often seen marching through the mist, their uniforms tattered, their faces frozen in agony. Some hikers claim they've been touched by unseen hands or had their names whispered in the dead of night. The land, soaked in death, remembers every life lost on its soil, and it's said that Droop Mountain will never let its ghosts rest in peace. If you visit, listen closely. Those who fought here are still waiting to be heard. Number 10. Blennerhassett Island. Nestled in the Ohio River, this picturesque island once housed a grand mansion belonging to the wealthy Blennerhassett family. But its beauty hides a sinister history. The Blennerhassetts were caught up in a treasonous plot led by Aaron Burr, a scheme that would lead to their downfall. Soon after, tragedy struck, and the mansion burned to the ground, leaving nothing but ashes. Today, the island is haunted by the restless spirits of those who met untimely and violent ends. Visitors often report seeing a woman in white wandering the grounds, her face twisted in sorrow, and hearing footsteps that seem to follow them through the trees. Some say the ghost of Harmon Blennerhassett himself still lingers near the ruins, seeking revenge for his ruined life. Blennerhassett Island is a place where the past never lets go, and if you venture there, you might feel it too, the weight of history and the ghosts who still haunt it. Which of these haunted places would you dare to visit? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've had a paranormal experience in West Virginia, we want to hear it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more ghost stories, haunted histories, and terrifying top 10s every single week.